Okay, sorry about that. The video had to stop, so I'm going to go over this one a little bit more. There's a power out in front. We're trying to condense. We're trying to get smaller, right? So this power is going to go back on the 2. It's like this. Log is 10 technically of 3, but 2 to the third is just 8. So I'm going to simplify it down to that. Okay, bringing down these other pieces. Now I want to write it as one single log. So I'm going to write log x times, because we were adding, 8 times x plus 3. Now this 8 times, or x times 8 is normally written as 8x. So we'd say log of 8x times x plus 3. Notice I use parentheses in the log so that you can see exactly what's inside the log, and there's no misconceptions of what it's supposed to be. Okay, so now we're going the other way, and we're going to expand using the subtraction property. If it's in the denominator, it is subtracted. That's the key to these. So I'm going to start by writing it as the top and the bottom. They each get their own log. So log base 2 of 5x to the 7th minus log base 2 of x minus 4. So that's the quotient part of it. That's the fraction. But if you look closer, look what we have here. 2 things inside the log, they both get their own log. So the 5 gets a log, and the x to the 7th gets a log. But it's going to be adding here because they were multiplying. And then minus log base 2 of this other stuff. Okay, and then don't forget that powers can move out in front. So this guy is going to go out in front here. So that our final answer is log base 2 of 5 plus 7 log base 2 of x minus log base 2 of x minus 4. All right, this one, we've got a fraction. It's ln, it doesn't matter, the rules still apply. So I've got a 5 that needs its ln and a 12x that needs their ln. Because it's dividing the fraction, it's going to be a subtract right there. Now looking at again, I can see that I've got 2 things inside here being multiplied. So they're going to get split into their own pieces. So this right here is going to be ln of 12 plus, because they're multiplying, ln of x. So it changes this whole thing into ln of 5 minus ln of 12 plus ln of x. Now, since we are minusing and substituting that whole thing in, technically it's ln of 5 minus ln of 12 plus, or sorry, minus, because you got to distribute that minus, ln of x. Okay, next one. So we've got a top and a bottom. I'm going to split it up. Top stuff minus, because it's divide, the log of this stuff. Okay, looking at that, my favorite property here is when there's a power, it moves out in front. It doesn't matter what this thing is. If there's a power, you move it out in the front. So this is now 2 log x plus 9. And this one's still there. Okay, and then I'm looking to see if it goes further. Again, right here, you'll notice some things being multiplied together, which means everybody's going to get their own log. So 2 gets a log, y gets a log, and z gets a log. They're all being multiplied, so all of them are going to be added. And then you've still got this guy, so minus 2 log parentheses x plus 9. All right, now we're going to go the other way. We're going to squish them into a single fraction. So we've got log base 3 of x minus log base 3 of y. My goal is to write it as a single log and then something inside there joining the x and y. Because it's subtraction, that means we're dividing. X is the first one, and technically it's positive, so it's going to go on top, minus the y, because y goes on the bottom. Okay, this one now. Powers are going to be done first when you're doing this. Here's why. If I were to join this into a fraction right now, it would look like 3x right here and 1/2 4 right there, and that's not what it is. The 1/2 is a power. Excuse me. So first thing first, these guys are going to go on back over and become their powers again. Okay, now we can go and write it as a fraction. So ln on top is x to the third, on bottom is 4 to the 1/2. Now 4 to the 1/2 is the same thing as the square root of 4, which is 2. So to simplify that down a little bit more, ln of x to the third over 2. All right, again, we start with powers first. That 8's going to go back on here. 5's got to go back on here. This whole thing is inside the log, so that power is going to go outside those parentheses. So log base x of 8 minus log base 2 minus log of y minus 6 in parentheses to the 5th power. Okay, let's combine it into 1. Both of them are subtract. This guy's not, he's positive, so our single log, the x to the 8th goes up here on the top. It's positive, there's no way it subtracts, so it would never go on the bottom. How about minus log of 2? It's minus, which means it's going to go in the denominator. So put in my fraction, and I've got a 2. Okay, this one is also minus, so we're going to divide by this thing. And that's it. Anytime it's subtract, it goes in the denominator. Key piece right there. Subtract means denominator.